look at that. Great American Ballpark here in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio. Our camera crew doing such a great job of getting these drone shots. You see Great American Ballpark there empty. We are in the Duke Energy Convention Center here in Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, hosting the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, brought to you in part by the Paralyzed Veterans of America and the Department of U.S. Veterans Affairs, as we are coming to you for Quad Rugby, and so proud that GE and P&G could be a proud sponsor of Quad Rugby. I'm Michael Carratino. Joining me, yes, he has a little bit of experience in this game, and now he might be taking my job soon, but we'll keep him as an analyst because he knows more about Quad Rugby than I could dream to know about. But he's Ryan Lindstrom, and almost got to this game. I know a little tough. You got some fans already razzing you, saying, would you
so
get lazy?
Close. Yeah, I got lazy this year is what they were telling me.
But we have the gray team led by, Mason Simons, who's been just an absolute beast, and the red team led by Chris Hall, Cupcake. And you kind of alluded to Cupcake. Sean Castle told me his name was Cupcake as
Absolutely.
well. I said, when you told me, you guys want to call him Cupcake, you can. He's in that chair. He'll still throw me around. I'm not calling him Cupcake. But he told me the story, which we'll get into later during the broadcast, Ryan, and about how the nickname Cupcake came about. And it actually is very, very funny, of course, because when you say it around the wrong people, or maybe the right people, but they're going to go with it. So that means
Absolutely.
I mean, the red team now the gray team has not dropped a game in the round robin. And the red team dropped one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Red team dropped against gray.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was
so
gonna say everybody played each other. So this is a rematch as the players are getting introduced. And let me introduce them real quick. I should know that first, but I said Mason Simons. He'll be number 5 for the gray team. We also have number 2, who's Jesse Graham out of the Air Force. Simons out of the Army. Out of the Navy, we have number 10, Davis Celestine, in his 10th games. In his 5th games, number 4, Henry Sawyer, a Navy vet. And number 13, Gabriel Diaz de Leon, his 26th games, an Army vet. Unbelievable. We have Tim Kelly, number 12 for the Gray, his 11th games, an Army vet as well. And in his 2nd games, Emmett Pryor, a Marine, number 3, and 00, Lauren Strong, his 11th games, National Guard and Army. And for Team Red, I mentioned Chris Hall, number 13, his 8th games, an Army vet. And look at that. Players introduced, and the chairs mash, and we're going to hear that sound. I love that sound. Well, because I'm sitting here, I don't have to deal with it, but that's why I love it. But Chris Hall, like I said, number 13. Number 1 is Scrappy Smith, his 3rd games. And number 3, Gerald Bartles, his 5th games out of the Navy. Larry Porter is 00, his 2nd. National Guard, got an exemption. We talked about that.
Yep.
Number 12, Robert Fecto, his 6 games out of the Army. Number 10 will be Chet Miller for the red team in his 5th games, an Army vet as well, and a Marine vet in his 26th games. Jerry Baylor is number 5. Number 11, Joel Rodriguez, his 3rd out of the Army. So now that I got all that out of the way, Mr. Lindstrom, what can we expect to see outside of I love how the teams, that's kind of like their fist bump. The teams get introduced and ram the chairs at each other.
It's a quad rugby handshake right there. Yeah. It's we got a lot of up-and-comers up here on the court today. We actually have Gabriel Diaz de Leon is actually a Paralympian in field events.
Yep.
And a lot of guys coming up here, young guys. It's really nice to see the sport still growing as we go. Unfortunately, it has to happen that way, but, the injury has to happen for the sport to grow, but it's going to happen anyway, so we might as well make them athletes, right? Absolutely. But these two teams, I know Red is itching for some payback. I mean, itching for it. They were talking about it all night last night.
The gray team undefeated, like we talked about when we opened up. Gray team undefeated, and the Reds team only loss would be to this gray team. So the two guys right there in the middle, Chris Hall, and for the red team, and Mason Simons, a 6'7" wingspan. Absolutely, he was playing basketball, and I know. Again, we were talking about the chairs, and obviously, like where they're, the knees higher than the hips for balance. But he uses his rugby chair for basketball, and again, they can't block his shot anyway when he leans back. I mean, such an advantage. But it would be, and I was talking to Sean Castle saying, and he goes, the whole center of gravity, the balance, because he said he was in a basketball chair and he felt like he was sick, and
Yeah.
And I was telling Sean, because I shared the story, I think I shared it with you, when my appendix ruptured.
Yeah.
The first, I felt like I was going to throw up. I was nauseous, so I couldn't imagine your body adjusting to a chair. And then you get in another chair, and you're doing an athletic event.
Yep.
So he said he fought through it, but after that, he's like, forget it. I'm going back to my regular chair.
That's so funny.
So,
yeah, it's definitely interesting switching from chair to chair, because it's like going from like dress shoes, okay, to running shoes.
Yeah,
or
run
to
a
basketball
race in dress shoes,
yeah.
and then run a race,
Absolutely.
like you said, in running shoes.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, or running in flip-flops.
Now, Chris Hall here, I hear he was committing a few fouls. He may have told me that the game he was trying to get to.
Yeah,
his
game plan was definitely to come after me a little bit with the fouls.
He wasted the minute in the penalty box.
He was probably about 6 minutes in the first quarter in the penalty box. Yeah.
You know, they call that an enforcer in hockey. I'm just saying.
They call it dirty pool in rugby.
I love it. The competition's still going, and Joel Rodriguez gets it. Oh, Graham trying to stop him, Jesse Graham. And I talked about Mason Simons, but I mean, Jesse Graham. Mason Simons gets through. Jesse Graham, I was going to say to you, Ryan, you can take it from there, but he does not shy away from the contact. He loves going after people.
Absolutely not. Yep. And he's fast, too. He's fast. He's got some function. He can catch the ball.
Oh, as Chris gets there, and I told him, I know his nickname is Cupcake, and we'll save that for the second half. It's called a tease in the industry.
There you go.
People to stick
there
around
you go. Yep.
here on wheelchairgames.org. We're glad they could join us. But, yeah, Cupcake, but I told him I started calling him the Tasmanian Devil because, I mean, somebody's breaking away for the goal, and you think everybody's kind of coasting, and he's just if he gets there, we'll give him a little how you doing, a little bump. How you doing?
Hey,
good to see you.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he's been pushing hard lately. He's doing a lot of training lately. It's nice to see. Yeah.
Oh, and Graham gets away.
Turns it over there.
Yeah, I love it. Well, it is Hal Smith, but he said he goes by Scrappy, so I usually tell everybody I'll say it once. But, yeah, Scrappy Smith with the turnover there, and now we are tied up at 1. 7:15. 4 8-minute quarters. If you're just joining us for the first time, sorry, probably should have shared that. 4 8-minute quarters, and then at halftime, it's a 5-minute halftime. And, oh, well, ball's bouncing around there. And again, you have to, for those of you just joining us the first time, as this guy knows, but you have to, the ball has to be in control in your hands as you carry it across the goal line. It cannot just roll. If you drop it, if for some reason it rolls off your chair, and then it goes across, that is a no goal and a turnover. The other team gets the ball. And now I'll let you explain. So on the held ball, how does that work again?
It has to be shared possession.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So, if say you've got it in your lap and I've palmed the ball, I can't foul you before I do it, and it has to be a shared possession ball.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So that's how it's called. It's just like a jump ball in basketball, but we obviously don't jump.
This guy with the jokes. He's here. Hey, he's been here all week. The microphone's on. So as long as you don't foul him, but if an opponent is holding the ball and you literally just put your hand on top of it.
Yeah, if you now some of the low pointers, they don't really have to palm it like a high pointer. They just have to be touching it, and it has to be in some kind of control.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Like you have to be holding the ball in their lap basically for it to be held ball.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So that is a held ball. And then, explain the hooking again, too.
The hooking on the chair?
Yes.
Okay, so the chairs are made high pointers and low pointers. If you see the high pointers, they have that rounded front end with the wings on the side so that they can glance off and keep moving down the court. The low pointers, their job is more like a offensive lineman or defensive lineman. So their job is to pick the high pointer off of you or for you to grab the high pointer that has the ball. So it's a mismatch in points and function. Yep.
As we get a timeout here, and they're tied up at 1. Just almost 90 seconds into this first quarter. Again, both teams seeing what each other's doing early on. Got to adjust. And I mean, Chet Miller, he's another guy, too, in his 5th games, number 10 for the red team. He really stuck out the other day, too. I mean, when I saw him play, obviously, like I said, Chris Hall flying around. But Chet Miller and Joel Rodriguez, again, sometimes not able to get – well, I heard him say he was mad. He was talking to somebody who's frustrated about how he didn't have the grip because somebody came into him and possession. But man, when he gets the ball, he gets going. He is another force to be reckoned with out there.
Yep. Joel is one of my low pointers down in Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an up and comer, and he's just getting better and better. He's only been playing this is his 3rd year for rugby. So it's really great to see him coming up, and he's dedicating to the sport.
That's awesome.
You know, it's amazing. Yeah, it's great.
So inbounds for the Red is Chet Miller, the aforementioned, takes it, gets it over to Scrappy Smith. And now he's getting, well, a convoy from Smith. But, Simons cuts him off. And it looks like the shot clock went off. I heard a little horn.
Oh, I don't think they heard it. The rest must not have heard that. Oh, boy.
Wow.
That's a big turnover that didn't get called.
And wouldn't somebody from the scores table say something?
Nope, that's on to the rest of here.
I got you.
Because if the score table isn't allowed to make any calls.
Well, here comes Chris trying to cut off Jesse Graham. Oh, and he does. He makes him turn around, gets it back to Mason Simons. And again, when you talk about it, getting back on defense 4-on-4, when you have that kind of speed, what a pass there from Simons to Graham as Scrappy Smith almost was able to knock it down.
Yep.
But when you have that kind of speed and you can cut somebody off, it's one of those things where a great advantage, like you say, guys getting back, or again, some guys are going to get down court faster than others, like you said, the point system. But man, he does not take any breaks. And look at Chet Miller, had Scrappy Smith, just trying to draw Mason Simons out. Look at the block there by Scrappy Smith.
A little shake and bake right there.
I was going to look at that, shake and bake. Everybody's a Will Ferrell fan. I love it. Shake and bake.
That just happened.
3-3 the score, though. That ties it up. And again, fans, they have 10 seconds to inbound it. It's 10-second clock, and then once it's inbounded, they have 12 seconds to get it across midcourt. Oh, and checking in the game there, that was number 4. That's Henry Sawyer for Team Gray. Oh, and again, the time. Each player has to play 8 minutes or 10?
8 minutes,
8 minutes. Basketball's 10.
Basketball's 10.
10, yeah. So
because we have 4 8-minute-quarters, they have 2 20-minute halves.
Yep. Oh, and the turn, and look at that.
Wow.
Well, we were talking about Joel Rodriguez. He goes across the line, and the Gray team, sorry, I guess I should have told people that. I'm just excited to do this. It's so awesome to watch. The Gray team is the home team, and the Red team is the guest. So Red is up 4-3. Oh, not anymore, as Simons goes across the line, gets out in front, and that makes it 4-4. Scrappy Smith coming up the court, gets it to Chris Cupcake Hall, and look at that. Simons trying to get back.
Turnover, I think.
Oh, it was?
That's a turnover. Mason put him right into the cone there. He didn't get inside the cone.
Not a penalty. Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
Although if you
no goal.
Wait, isn't it Chris and Jesse that had the little
well,
tip
Chris
last
and
year?
Jesse, and then after the first game, Chet and Mason were chipping at each other pretty hard.
Yeah. so now it went from, that's right, because Chris had knocked Jesse down after he passed the goal line last year, as Ryan was so very kind to explain in the first game, trying to fuel that rivalry even more.
Look at Joel go here, boy.
Oh, and Scrappy Smith with a nice block on Mason Simons. Rodriguez trying to get inside.
What a push.
Wow, and he does, and he just beat Henry Sawyer. Sawyer in position, but Rodriguez, look at him. So now it is 5-5, all tied up between Red and Gray. Simons has it, launches it. Again, somebody letting Jesse Graham get out. Here comes Hall, but Graham angles away from him, and he scores. Yeah, and he was, and Chris was trying to bait me to get in the chair too. Like he was
Absolutely.
like, hey, once you're in, you really don't feel it.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, you don't feel it at all.
Yeah, I know, with the smile on his
Feels
face.
great.
It's bumper cars, but like almost like Demolition Derby, except without anything. Or somebody's number had fallen
I'll tell
off.
you, it's honestly it is an interesting feeling, and I've only had a few guys that I hit that I really got the wind knocked out of me.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's an interesting feeling. Yeah.
Well, Chris Hall with the turnover there. Jesse Graham has it, gets it over to Mason Simons. As again the athlete number was there. Ooh, Simons almost lost control of it. Hall trying to knock it away, but he's able with that huge wingspan, as you see there, about a 6'7" wingspan for Simons. And now Gray is up 7-5. Here comes Chet Miller as he has Henry Sawyer.
Screaming up the court here.
Yeah, goes by, getting by Sawyer. Graham stops him. Now Sawyer turns around to match up with Scrappy Smith. Smith thinks about getting it to Hall as Diaz De Leon comes by. And I would say not even the secondary break, almost like the third option break. Joel Rodriguez comes down.
Joel on the court right now is actually the fourth option.
Fourth option.
Yeah,
okay.
He's the last guy you really want to go to ever because he's a low pointer. You do not want him to have the ball if he doesn't have to. But he's a very good ball handling low pointer.
Right.
Yes.
Well, there was 7 seconds left on the shot clock, and Red gets the goal. Chris Hall goes across the line, so they're within 1, 7-6. He's Ryan Lindstrom and Michael Caratanudo. Quad Rugby brought to you in part by, hosted by GE, such a proud sponsor of, well, Quad Rugby, but just the National Veterans Wheelchair Games in general, and Procter & Gamble. We're here in their backyard in Cincinnati, the Queen City. Ryan, we finally had some great, see GE right there, yes, General Electric. 37 years the National Veterans Wheelchair Games have been going on, and, well, they talk about having tough energy, and Procter & Gamble talks about having tough products. They picked the right sport, so we definitely thank P&G and GE for being here and part of it. But yesterday, as we get this time out, I do have to say to you, as the score is 7-6 in favor of the gray team, that we finally had some Grater's ice cream.
Did you really?
Oh, my God. I mean, I've had Cold Stone, and Cold Stone's good. And I was saying on the Facebook Live, I mean, look, Cold Stone's good, but Grater's, I mean, it put it to shame. You feel bad trying like 15 different ones, and David Heil would know all about that.
I would think you feel great doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, can I get this? Let me try that. We've never been there, so it's like, all right.
I tell you what, every morning I was going down there and getting their strawberry banana smoothie.
Oh, ooh, that sounds. Yeah,
yes,
I tried their peach ice cream. That was amazing. I tried the blackberry chocolate chip. Oh, then we settled for the cookies and cream and mocha, and it was I mean, in a cup. It was
that
honestly.
sounds.
I know exactly. We're watching guys working hard, burning off calories, playing a hard sport, and we're talking about, well, if we go somewhere after the game,
some ice cream.
Yeah, Grater's wouldn't be a bad idea. But before you get that timeout, definitely want to congratulate, Enrique Lopez, who won the Super G, his 13th time, lucky 13 of doing it. A time, it actually ended up being 3:45. He had a few penalties, but his unofficial time, 3:42.57. And Enrique Lopez, and yeah, he's shaking his head because we were talking, like, I did this, like I said, I did the slalom, and they're like, no, this is like on steroids, and I got to give a shout out to our boy Mike Gilbo, who was my color analyst for that. He said he's been fighting, like I told you off air, for years for a Super Q. He's like, he's so fired
absolutely.
up. He could probably do the broadcast, go through his course, and come back and he'd be talking
still be
through
fired
the whole time.
up.
Actually, I'd probably just leave the headset on him. I'd be like,
let him run through the course
take it, Mike, take it. No, he was it was such a great honor to work with him. But yeah, but the Super G. I mean, you guys were all telling me about that, Ryan. But man,
unreal,
unbelievable. Especially a lot of the guys that are the twos that really don't have any core. The upper body control, I mean, we talk about it all week, but just absolutely phenomenal. So congratulations to Mr. Enrique Lopez, again, for winning the Super G.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Insane. As we get back to action now, 7-6 the score. Gray leading on the court for Gray. You see right there, number 4, Henry Sawyer. Mason Simons probably won't leave the court all game. Number 13, Gabriel Diaz de Leon. And the 4th, number 10, checking in the game, Davis Celestine, who did a little weightlifting yesterday as well.
Yes, he sure did.
I was up there watching. Well, I was up there watching that. 4 guys over 300 pounds. I'm like, yeah, I feel like a real good underachiever right now.
You know what's really crazy is there's a couple quad players that they do a quad bench because for the hand function, the free weight.
Absolutely.
And so they do a bench that has it's almost like a machine, but it will only hold a certain amount of weight.
Some guys
I think it tops out in the 280 range or 300 range. And every year, 2 guys will tie up at 280, 300 pounds somewhere, and then they have to do a liftoff.
Yeah. Speaking of liftoff, that pass right there, that one-handed catch brought it down with one arm by Diaz, the seasoned vet. And like you said, we were saying 26 games. He's only missed 5 because you said it. He was a Paralympian.
Yep.
And so he only misses these games for the Olympics. It's like, glad to see you're such an underachiever. So, I mean, really, as we see Chris Hall go. But yeah, I mean, that catch there by him, and wow. So and the scoreboard's out. Not
boy.
this one. So it's
8-7.
8-7 in favor of the gray team, and it's Hall's trying to cut off. Look at that! Oh,
with the reach.
Stops him. He's mad.
Oh yeah, he's not happy about that.
Yeah, and it's funny. We were talking before the game about how these courts are different, but a lot of the gyms that have the hardwood floors.
Oh yeah.
You do not. You wait till somebody comes out. Yeah, and in Phoenix, I saw that because the center they had it at had the hardwood floors.
Yep.
So somebody, I was telling you the first they would come out with the mat and those because some of the chairs like those auxiliary wheels almost like they were in, but when they fell they popped out so they couldn't push themselves up too. So another safe, I guess another obstacle and be like, oh, because you're so mad and I heard a few of them talking like, oh, I can pick myself up, but yeah, after they resurface those floors,
courts.
Those courts you are not moving. So yeah, they bring the mat out. And
they'll bring the mat out. They don't want you like digging in and cutting up the court with your chair because these chairs are not soft. You know.
No.
Yeah, when they hit the court, they're gonna cut something up.
So that makes it 9-7 in favor of the gray team. No. Oh, and on a break now. Can he get to the ball?
Can he get it?
Number 3 for Red, Gerald Bartles. Oh, he almost
so
had
close.
it. Well, Chet Miller was coming down trying to stop it, but Bartles almost got there. His 5th games again out of the Navy. And yes, Ryan alluded to it in the beginning. I told him the story. I was asking everybody what branch of the military they were in, and unfortunately, I asked one of the gentlemen what branch of the Navy, and he's like, Michael, right? He goes, say that again. He goes, the ball might accidentally get thrown in your direction at the booth. And he was in the Army. Why couldn't he have been like a Navy SEAL, something like that? I could have got lucky, but no.
Maybe. If he was a Marine, he could have played off their fun joke, the men's department.
He would have been like, oh, who told you to say that? What branch? I would have been like, no, buddy. Am I in trouble now? Let me go stand over here. I'll write this down. Yeah,
that's great.
Look at the replay. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Simon's
snagged from back there. That's good.
Yeah, he's got those long arms. And you talked about it the other day. I mean, an advantage that is. I mean, having a 6'7"
it's a huge advantage.
Wingspan.
Absolutely.
Now, Chet Miller getting cut off by Diaz de Leon. Oh, and Mason Simons in there. And he doesn't.
Not happy with the call there, that's for sure.
He is not happy as he strolls on into the penalty box. It's like hockey players. I mean, hockey players look around. Everybody looks around. I didn't do anything.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do that.
But maybe it's a strategic break like somebody talked about it and took the last minute of the period the other day when I was broadcasting.
It also could be him just going after Chet a little bit there because they were chipping and japping in the first game.
And here with the shot clock, because it is a 40-second shot clock, so Red can take as much time as they want, take some time off the clock as they're down 10-7, so you want to score fast, but it's kind of nice to be 4-on-3 and let it go away and catch a little breather without having to take a penalty like Mason did. Although Chris had no problem taking him against you yesterday.
Yeah, he had no problem with that at all. Yeah, I got some bruises on my chest from that. Yeah.
Oh, no. So the next meeting is going to be really awesome.
I promise. Oh, wow.
What's that?
They did not score in the 40 seconds and turn the ball over 4-on-3.
Oh, wow. What was the turnover? Oh, the shot clock violation.
The shot clock violation, yep. Yeah, so now it's a 4-on-3, and they're doing a double here, trying to deny the ball.
Because he has 10 seconds to get it in bounds. If he doesn't, then it will be another. Oh, it comes in. It's bouncing around. Ooh, and it's picked up almost by Davis Celestine, and now we have
no ball. Oh, that's a big one right there. That's big. Wow. Yep.
Yeah. Came over and called the jump ball, and now still 4-on-3. 10-7. You see the Gray leading here in the quad rugby gold medal game. Gray trying to stay perfect, unscathed through this tournament. As it goes in and it's inbounded from Henry Sawyer to Davis Celestine. I know he's got a little bit of strength, so that bump from behind, he will hold on to the ball. Takes a nice dribble there. Backing up and waiting to come out of the penalty box is Simons as Joel Rodriguez is sitting there waiting for him.
Oh, wow, they scored 3-on-4.
Joel Rodriguez, Mason Simons complaining, gives him a little more of a bump. What do you see? What?
See, now Mason here came off the court and went up the sideline out of bounds, and the ref did not call it.
She was trying to say Joel trapped him, and now Chet Miller with the ball gets it up to Joel Rodriguez. Here comes Simons. Oh, the bump. Ooh. Joel Rodriguez trying to get, oh, look at that. Look at the hustle by Rodriguez.
Joel fighting for it. That's awesome.
And now behind there's Celestine. And Celestine's going to be called for a penalty. So one guy gets
another
out of the
reaching call.
And there's only a little bit under 4 seconds left.
Oh, boy.
So 4.8 to go. So he's actually going to start the second quarter in the penalty box. Just like you would in hockey. Yeah, man. This is unbelievable.
This is a very important goal for Red right here.
Yeah, so now forget wasting well, you only got 4 seconds left anyway, so just get it in and oh, it's tipped by Simons, and he's talking trash to Chet Miller about you're not going to get it over me to him. I'm cleaning it up probably a little bit.
Great.
Oh, and he does. Look at that.
Oh, 2 fouls now. Wow. Here we go.
Mason Simons.
2 in the box.
Oh, wow. So this is going to be, well, there's only 2.2 left, so they still have to inbound it quickly.
They can get this goal, though.
Yeah. So if they throw it far side to Joel Rodriguez, Mason Simons not happy about that call. You guys are always lobbying. I love it. Little 2-second breather, and then so it's going to be 4-on-2 to start the second period as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's turned over at the end of the first quarter. Look at the vet there, Gabriel Diaz de Leon.
Red's going to come out and get the ball here in the second quarter, and it's still going to be 2-on-4. So they should get that goal no problem, and then it's still going to be 3-on-4.
All right, well, we're going to step aside real quick. We're going to have to catch our breath as, part of the penalty box. If the gray team's going to have to catch their breath as well. But 11-7 the score as we end the first quarter. The gray team leading the red here from the Duke Energy Convention Center, the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, brought to you by the Paralyzed Veterans of America and the Department of U.S. Veterans Affairs. And we are back here at the Duke Energy Convention Center in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio, the 37th Annual Veterans Wheelchair Games, the Quad Rugby gold medal game between Team Red and Team Gray, brought to you by GE, proud sponsors of Quad Rugby, and Procter & Gamble, also right here in their own backyard in Cincinnati. So, again, great that they could be a part of the games. 11-7, 2 guys still in the penalty box for Gray. And Red just kind of taking their time, though. Again, you're down by 4. I get it. So now will both come out or just one?
Just one will come out.
Okay,
Davis,
so Davis will come
10.
out first, yeah. So he scores, so now Davis can come out. And he gets back on the court.
Good job, Greg.
So now Joel Rodriguez is coming back to say hi to his good friend, Mason Simons. As dumping a little water over, just checking it out on the monitor. Get Diaz De Leon down at the end, keeping the ball away. Ooh, gets it over to Davis Celestine, but he can't control it. Scrappy Smith comes up with it. And there's still, it's a 4-on-3, a Scrappy Smith, ooh.
And that right there is the danger of having 2 men in the penalty box. So because you're playing 3-on-4 when you come back on offense.
Now that makes it 11-9. Gray leading over Red, 11-9. But now everybody's out of the penalty box, and here comes Henry Sawyer. He would have appreciated what branch of the Navy are you in, because he was in the Navy.
Absolutely.
See, Mr. Sawyer, I was thinking of you. Look at that. Diaz De Leon gets the ball, goes across. That makes it 12-9 now, Gray leading. Man, again, his 26 games, just awesome to see. I mean, I know it's once a year, but skipping 5 to be like, oh, I'm going to go do the Olympics now. Okay. Going to be a Paralympian and go from there.
Yep. And he's a really good athlete. I mean,
what does he do? You know, that's what I didn't ask. What does he do?
He does. I think it's discus. And I want to say maybe shot put. But yeah, discus is his main event. Yeah.
And again, doing the decathlon, again, I can only relate, like Sean teasing me, you able-bodied people. I feel like a Harry Potter was like, oh, you muggles.
You muggles.
I'm a Harry Potter nerd. My niece was a big Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. Exactly, you muggles. You able-bodied people. Like,
Australians call you walkabouts.
Yeah, yes, yes. And as we get a timeout here, but I look at it and throwing the discus when I did the decathlon, I mean, I was pretty decent at it. I couldn't do the full rotation, but I mean, just again, like you said, and he's and to look at it, I mean, he's a 1.5, so he really has no core.
Yeah, well, he actually is an odd injury.
Oh, really?
His hand function's bad, but he has core.
Oh, wow.
But his arms and shoulders are off, right? So if you watch his push, it's more of an up and down than it is full rotation of the arms.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So for the disc, well, having a little bit, but not having the arms, but and again, I mean, I know they
so
adjust
his
the
core
weight.
He can twist.
Right.
And then his hand, he hangs on to it with his hand and just he sings it.
Again, the discipline, and it's like I said, it's just absolutely an honor to be here. I feel like a slacker, but at the same time, maybe next year I'll get out there with you, a little clinic. You can use me as your
absolutely
your clinic, I guess, tackle dummy, but you're not tackling me. You're passing and crash. And look at that going across the line right there, Gerald Bartles.
There he goes.
And that makes it 13-10. The Gray team now leading 13-10. But back in the game is Jesse Graham, and look at that. He is going to just so quick. And like you said with the wheels, I mean, the angle of the wheels, the sports bikes, you're able to turn quicker.
Yep, you're able to
but
turn
going
so
straight
fast.
away, breaking away, that's when people can make up ground because, again, both of you aren't going as fast straight away.
Now, also the angle helps with your push because your motion is made to go away from your body. So when you're pushing, as you're going, you're pushing away, and in a straight up and down wheel, it's a little awkward to push. Yeah.
Yeah. And a 0-0, that's Lauren, or no, I'm sorry, 0-0 is Larry Porter, his second games. Oh, Tim Kelly. Oh, for the. Oh, he's in the game too. Oh, yeah, number 12 for the Gray. Good. See, good eye, Ryan. You can just say it. Go ahead. And
Tim Kelly and Emmett Pryor both just came in the game, also locking down Scrappy here.
And Emmett Pryor probably would have got a kick out of my joke too. Not that I was trying to make one, because he is the Marine. Although Jeff De Leon, he was the one. Because I asked him, you know what? He goes, yeah. Then I just said to him, I go, Navy. We were talking, figuring, what made you pick the Navy? He goes, well, I passed my reading and writing test, so I was able to go. And of course, that was a shot at At the Marines,
Yeah,
which, again,
absolutely.
I'm just repeating what I hear, everybody, not making them. These guys can have the trash talk and the banter.
It's that muscles are required, intelligence not essential.
Not essential. Yeah, Sean shared that one. I started laughing, and I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble now. So 15-10, Gray gets the goal, and they are up on red as we get a timeout. But again, the substitutions in the game, everybody has to play at least 8 minutes, which would amount to 1 quarter. So if you split up basically 2 minutes a quarter for, like you said, your lower pointers to mix them with higher pointers, those, and make sure obviously you can advance the ball. And man, again, like I told you, I love seeing. I mean, you guys all kind of get wired with that no quit attitude. We talked about the breaking down to build back up, but it's no quit. And again, it's like Joel Rodriguez might not have as much mobility as Mason, but he is just banging around with him, saying, "Bring it,
working
bring it."
hard.
And look at him trying to get through there. Mason stops him. What a nice pass over the top of Simon. Wow. It had to be a real high alley-oop to Larry Porter from Team Red, and now that makes it 15-11. Gray is up as Graham inbounds it to Simons, and look at Graham leading the convoy up. As get a little dribble there, and Simons cuts in front of Bartles, and he will go across the end line, and that will make it 16-11 in favor of the Gray. As you see,
this is where those substitutions I talked about in the other game are coming into play big time. Having to bring Chris off the court.
And that ball rolls out of bounds. Nobody touched it, so it'll be a turnover. It'll be Gray ball, and Chris, he was talking, but yeah, was off the court. So you have Rodriguez, Porter, Scrappy Smith, and Gerald Bartles for Team Red.
Jesse with a bad pass there.
Wow, very rare bad pass by Jesse Graham. He's going to try and catch Joel Rodriguez, and Jesse Graham does that as he's on the court with number 3, that's Emmett Pryor, number 12, Tim Kelly on the court as well, and Mason Simons. It's a little bit of a traffic jam. Joel Rodriguez, well, he meant to do that. Passes to Scrappy Smith. Simons is shadowing him here on the near side of the court. He's trying to get some help from Porter, and he does.
Oh, wow, 2 good picks right there. That's
Bartles
incredible.
Might be a low point guy, but picking it up, and that is a phenomenal pick.
2 great picks. And then the deep pass here to Jesse.
And he has done that a lot when I watched the first day. Yeah, he say cherry picking, but nobody's getting back with him. So it was 16-12. Now it's 17-12 in favor of the Gray.
And that's where a lot of this game is in transition in between the whistles. You got to jump on defense no matter what the score is, no matter where it happens, because you don't have much time to make a transition.
Oh, big collision there between Simons and Porter, but gets it to Joel Rodriguez. Holding on, Simons trying to swipe the ball away, gets it back to Porter, and look at Scrappy Smith making a break. Little convoy for Porter is Tim Kelly. Thought he was going to catch him. Porter cuts back, but Graham cuts him off. A bounce pass. That Simons knocks away. Oh, he's trying to say red touch at last, but when you have the longest arms, even if you didn't, even if you didn't touch it last, I see those wings out. It's like, oh yeah, you touched it. Oh, let's check the replay out. Oh well, never mind. Just kidding. No worries.
Just kidding.
So waiting to inbound now. That'll be Larry Porter. And he'll send it down. Nice catch by Rodriguez.
Pass.
Yeah, well, the pass online, and look at that. Oh, that's Scrappy's. Porter comes and sends it. You can now, if you send your teammate across, does that count?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. You can't actually put your hands on your teammate, which I've done before and gotten away with, but you are allowed to hit your own teammate to get them across. Yep.
That makes sense. You can't give them an extra push, but if you roll into, hey, they're in my way.
Yep.
So that was 17-13, but the Gray gets that goal. Again, the breakout by Graham. Somebody has got to get back on Jesse Graham. Yeah, is that Steve?
Nope, not Steve yet here. I'm waiting if I'm going to hear from him.
I mean, I give a picker a prop right there. I figure he would have been chiming in as we'll see the.
Oh, there you go. Oh man, just jarred it loose out of Joel's lap there.
Yeah, and then Simons just dishes it off to Graham. So again, that makes it 19-13 now. Gray leading. And the turnover there, and Simons makes it 20. Now it's inbounded to Joel Rodriguez, who with the brace for hit. Oh, look at that, right before Simons hits him. Gets it to Porter. Porter chases it down, but here comes Mason Simons, the speedster. He's got Rodriguez behind him. He bounces it to him.
Oh, wow. Jesse gets his hand in there.
I was going to say, what a knockaway there by Jesse Graham at the last second. I like the Stars and Stripe elbow pads, as we'll see the replay there. Look at that, the race for the ball. And you talked about the other day, Mason Simons, being able to use his full arms to go all the way around.
Yep, absolutely. Get that full push.
Joel Rodriguez guilty. Sometimes you got to get a little closer to your teammate, but you don't want to make it easy for the defense. But Graham gets in at the last second.
Well, Joel needs to get that, or Larry needed to get that pass out a little bit further for Joel, because Joel isn't going to be able to beat everybody on the court once he gets the ball.
So now back in the game, number 5, or in the game is number 5, Jerry Baylor. Chet Miller, number 10 for the red team, also checks in, and then Chris Hall back in and staying on. Oh, no, and coming in as number 12, it's full sale substitution. So Robert Fecto, number 12. So it's Fecto, Hall, Miller, and Baylor for the red team. And you see Hall gets back into the game and now makes it 20-14. Again, needed to come in. Don't want the lead to get too far out of hand as we head to halftime.
Yep. But he's still having to make these subs, so it's still going to stay pretty interesting. As long as he gets these subs all taken care of in a timely fashion and the hand doesn't get out of hand. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
there you go.
That was a
nice little swipe there. Big
crush there. You see Scrappy Smith, he earned it, getting some water on the sidelines. He said, when I was walking on the court, he was coming across, we were talking, and he said, you know, feeling good, get some recovery. He goes, oh yeah, better than I did the other day. I feel good. He goes, yeah, he goes, we're going to get a little revenge today. Oh, as Graham gets a nice little pick there from Tim Kelly. And he goes around. Also 0-0, Lauren Strong in the game. So Lauren Strong, Tim Kelly, Jesse Graham, and Mason Simons in the game for the gray team. As the ball gets inbounded to Baylor, and he gets rid of it right away over to
there he
Hall.
Goes.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Some great picks and following his picks right up the court there.
He throws the ball ahead to himself. Good idea. Just looks around and cruises past the goal line. But it's still a touchdown. Well, a 6-point lead now, 21-15. But you're saying the red team, I know you got to press, but you got to be aware of Graham. He's about to turn around as Fecto saw him and is trying to chase him down. But there goes Graham. Simons thinking about it. Oh, Simons with a long skip pass.
There you go.
Oh, and Hall gets there. But Graham able to, and Hall trying to knock it away. Tim Kelly doing a good job of giving Graham some room. Can Hall catch Graham? Oh, well, he's I thought we might get a repeat of last year.
Getting close there. I think they settled that score there
in game one.
In game one, yep, absolutely.
So Hall won't do it again. Graham was trying to, I think, lobby the ref like, was he not pushing me across the line?
Well, you can push across the line.
Yeah,
as long as it's not.
Because if they're trying to waste time, it would benefit you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now that makes it 22-15. The gray team leading over the red. Nice block there.
Mason gets that big old paw up there and knocks it away.
Just like we said in every sport, just going back and forth with each other, but the referees every call. Come on, now you can't make that call.
It wasn't me. Swat.
I didn't lean back. I'm just so long. It looks like I didn't touch him.
It just looks like I was laying in his lap.
She's like, your chair's right next to him. You can't really get away with that one. So Chet Miller now gets the ball from Chris Hall as Lauren Strong in his
Chet gives him a little okey-doke there.
And now it's a 3-on-1 as Graham's back. Chet Miller.
That's great.
Trying to beat Tim Kelly, who Hall takes care of. As you heard the big thud there. And Tim Kelly, pardon me, not Tim Miller. Tim Kelly goes across the line. Or Chet Miller. I was thinking of the wrong name. Yeah, Chet Miller. I was right. Chet Miller, right team. And they scored a point. So 22-16 is the score. 1:36 left to go.
He might be only his 5th games, but he has been playing rugby for a very long time. He's one of those West Coast guys I was talking about.
That likes to break.
He's a running gun.
Yep,
absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
and
Jesse
we were actually
Graham has
talking about that last
attitude.
night. Yeah.
Jesse Graham likes to run and gun with the ball now.
Sure does.
What were you guys saying about it last night?
What
are the insider secrets here?
Well, it's talking about different plays. They're like, oh, you should have passed it, or you should have just picked for me. You know, it's like, you know, run and gun is pass, 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 go, 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 go. And then, like East Coast is, you get your pick and you just work up the court, keep the ball on the ground.
So with that goal makes it 23-16 as we see
Chris
Hall coming up the court trying to beat Mason Simons. Oh, Simons bumps him, but that time Chris Hall stayed a little inside, so if he got the bump, still inside the cone.
Yep, absolutely.
Speed on speed there, but again, it's just, again, the arm strength as we'll see the replay. Well, he inbounds it, and then he gets it. Look at that. It's like, give it back to me. And then, boom, starts
going. It's called
going.
a give and go.
Yeah, he beats Graham. Graham's got a little smile on his face, like. Again, look at those arms going long. Gave him the little bump, but just got past him enough. Ooh, and now Miller, I didn't even see that. Gets called.
Must have fouled him down here on the baseline.
Yeah. So Lauren Strong will inbound. And, bouncing it.
Turnover.
Turnover. So it's 4-on-3.
Get out of that key.
Oh, because that'd be 3 seconds.
Yep.
Oh.
They got 10 seconds to be in that key. They got to get out.
Red gets the goal, and that makes it 23-18 in favor of Gray.
That's a big turnover there, 3-on-4 for Red. Yep.
So now Graham has the ball. Tim Kelly just trying to set him up as Graham's trying to beat Hall to the, chair goes a little sideways, but there comes Tim Kelly. Just taking his time, following him in, and now he'll go straight ahead. Ooh, trying to swipe the ball away.
Oh, that was dangerous right there. That was a very dangerous reach. Because if he reaches there, he fouls him, and it's a penalty goal.
They get the goal, and he comes to the penalty box.
He stays in the box.
Chet would have to stay in the box.
Yes.
Chris wouldn't come over to the box.
It would not count as a normal goal.
So, but they still get the point.
Yeah, they still get the point.
And he stays in.
So then it would be 3-on-4 going this way on offense.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That was a very dangerous reach.
Well, is it because he was on offense? That's what I don't get.
Yes.
Why wouldn't Chris just come to the penalty box if he committed the reach?
Because it's a penalty goal.
Oh, it's a goal. That's right.
Yeah,
you said that the other day.
Yeah,
yes.
so it's a free goal without having to worry about the box or anything like that.
So, yeah, so basically Chris would be like the time serve, like you said. So they get the goal, but nobody comes over to the box as Graham gets a goal there, making it 24-18.
Nope, it's a 10-second in the key here.
Okay. Wow, so it wasn't. Waved it off.
Chris kept Lauren in the key for 10 seconds. Now that 10 seconds starts from the whistle.
Oh, okay.
For the inbound.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So Chris Hall looking and throws it ahead to Jerry Baylor. If he can get there, here comes Simons. Baylor's blocking him. Oh, there's Chris. So it's a turnover, but all the way into the backcourt, so that actually does help the red team, even though it's 3-on-4. As Simons coming up the middle. Hall's going to try and cut him off. Oh, makes a move there, but the hokey doke, like you said, and Simons just glides past the penalty. So now, and heads up play.
That deep
by
pass
Hall,
there. 4 seconds
left.
There it is. That's the last goal right there.
Nice. What a play by Red.
What a heads-up play.
24-19 is the score. Gray leading 24-19. And look at Mason's look at that. The nice pass over here's Mason's last goal and Jerry Baylor did a good job. He got his chair in between him and Mason, but Mason knew if he pushed him, threw him off track, he picks it up and gets the turnovers to see him go the other way. But what a play there. Look at him flying down the court. And again, it just, I hate to say it looks effortless, but you guys really do make it look like that.
Well, after years and years of playing, some things just come second nature and you're not really even thinking about it because you think about it. You're running and you're throwing the ball. That's one thing. But when you're having to push and then catch and pass and all that, but then once you get used to it, you really don't think
everything's
about
muscle
it.
memory.
Nothing is actually processed in the brain other than just, ball, now catch it, go. Oh, we got the Swiffer guys coming across here.
Yes, the Swifter guys are. 24-19 is the score. We're at halftime. Gray, the home team, trying to stay undefeated. They're leading over the red team. Their only loss, obviously, to the Gray team in the pool play. But we're going to step aside. The 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, hosted in part by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America. I want to thank GE and P&G for bringing us Quad Rugby. Ryan and I will step aside, but we'll be back with second half action in this gold medal match between Team Gray and Team Red here from the Duke Energy Convention Center. Back here at the Duke Energy Convention Center, the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, the Quad Rugby Gold Medal Game. And we're so happy it could be brought to you by our friends at P&G right here in their backyard in Cincinnati. And, well, they picked a heck of a sport. You need a lot of energy to do this game. And speaking of energy, the other proud partner of Quad Rugby, GE. And, again, both I know have done a lot just in talking about Team USA, we're talking about regular Olympics, Paralympics. I mean, they have been great. Obviously sponsor the wheelchair games, but as my man right here, Ryan Lindstrom, knows, and it was kind of last minute he came on board because we all thought, we told him that he was doing this game. Well, we said if he wasn't playing, we weren't rooting for him not to be playing. That being said, we said if you're available, but he made it over. I mean, no big deal. He just,
absolutely.
He was doing the autograph session and everything like that, and he had his fans, and then he had, his handlers were like, well, maybe we'll get him over. And speaking of starting fast, 24-19 was the score, but Gray inbounds the ball, and Jesse Graham goes across the line, making it 25-19. So Jesse Graham, Lauren Strong.
Wait, there was a turnover there.
Oh,
not sure what it was, though.
Okay. So Jesse Graham is
Maybe
on the
he didn't get across the line with the ball there.
Yeah, maybe he did not. Yeah, that's wow. So it's 24-19, still the score. So Jesse Graham, Davis Celestine, Mason Simons, and Lauren Strong for Gray.
He scored the wrong way. That's what it was.
Oh. Does that count for red then?
No, it's a turnover, but now it counts for red because
okay.
they just scored.
So
Because the second half you switch sides.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. He did well. You know, everybody. Yeah, I was gonna say why is he going that way again? But so it's 24-20 though is the score. Or no, if it doesn't count, why would it be?
Well,
Red
got it back
so
and
24-20, yeah, is the score. So, and on the court for Red, we have to get to their Jerry Baylor, number 5, back on the court, along with number 10, Chet Miller, number 12.
Overthrow here.
And Graham, doesn't get to it. So close, but Graham almost got to it. So, yeah, again, Jerry Baylor, number 5 is on the court, number 10, Chet Miller, number 13, as we know him, Chris Hall, and inbounding, number 12.
See the
that's
replay
Robert
here.
Facto.
Oh, that's a goal. That sure is a goal.
Wow.
Boy, I tell you what.
Well, they haven't initiated replay, so don't start screaming it because then we'll get everybody over here, Ryan. A little turnover there. Miller, no, team switch ways, so Miller had it. And look at that, the little Mutombo finger by Mason Simons.
Turnover after a turnover.
A little 2-on-1 is look. Oh, well, you know me, a little showboating there, the crossing the goal line backwards. As now that makes it 25-20 in favor of the Gray. He is Ryan Lindstrom. He did quad rugby. He also did the slalom too, right?
Yep, sure did. Slalom and I did basketball. Yep, slalom was definitely fun.
Skipped out on softball and track. What a slacker knobs. See,
well, the schedule conflicted for softball this year, actually, and there's a couple different conflicts this year, but still got to do most of what I wanted to do, which is fun. So I actually competed in basketball for the first time this year, which was definitely interesting. Got to learn a lot about that sport that I didn't realize was going on. Yeah.
Oh, that was the first time for hoops?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's really interesting how in rugby a turnover can be a death nail.
Oh, but you were saying that, yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those, oh boy, one turnover could be the end of the game. And then in 10-second violation here. Wow. They didn't get the ball in quite in time. And then in basketball, they don't make a shot, and it's, oh, well, let's go back down here and play defense, you know. And I'm like, we didn't make a shot. What's going on here?
Oh, yeah, that's right. So I was talking about it with Sean about how a few times you're on the court and you're thinking rugby, you're like, oh, I'm going to go line up. Oh, I can't. Yeah. Well, you
there
could.
There was a few times there.
I
tell you, but then I get fouled out or teched out of the game. Yeah.
No, they'll probably just call a foul.
They were not happy with my defensive play because they had me pressing the whole game like I do in rugby, and I'm used to it. Those guys are not used to it. Yeah, it is pretty funny.
Exactly. Well, and, you know, I would not interfere, obviously, when you guys get your teams in training, but like I said,
I think that was that was possibly a pushing call.
Was it a pushing call? I was going to say, but I would be happy next year, like I said, before the games start, you know, maybe a little like 2-on-2, so I can't get crushed.
You know, on the first day, if you're here on the first day next year, we always do a clinic to teach the new players.
I'll be
on
Monday.
The day of the expo.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be a newbie.
Heck yeah.
Ryan
we'll
Major
get you in
was
the chair,
trying to
man.
recruit me. He was trying to recruit me to play. I was like, I don't think I do you any good. He said, no, just come out and play. You do fine. I'm like, wait, I'm on your team? He goes, yeah. I go, oh, well,
okay.
Okay,
yeah, sure.
I'm on your team, yeah, because that's got to get the ball to you somehow.
Right.
That's not easier said than done. As we get another goal there, and now Gray's starting to pull away a little bit, 27-20. As Chris Hall has the ball and look, and
there we go. Nice chest pass up the court. Oh, boy.
Here comes Graham. Will he get to Chet Miller? Miller gets the ball. He gets turned away by Graham. Nice play. Now he goes back across to Hall. Hall trying to get some.
There we go. We get 2 picks here.
And look at that.
There
Great
you
job by Jerry Baylor and Robert Fecto. And, you know, again, it's like football. You said offensive, defensive line. The offensive line, of course, always the unsung heroes. Everybody like to call them the big uglies up front. But
absolutely.
It's funny, they don't do their job. You're not seeing all those passes flying across the air, running backs doing what they're doing. And, again, the pickers, the more I've watched, and even just listening to you and actually paying attention to the game, their job is equally as important because they're not scoring
important
if they don't get in the way.
Absolutely, so important. I use them so much when I play. If you notice it, you'll watch us. We'll slow down and wait for our picker to get their position. Wait, and then turn on it. You know what I mean?
Fecto
it's so important.
Gets a penalty.
He must not have allowed Mason to get on the court down there once he inbounded.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So now a 4-on-3 for the Gray. It's Lauren Strong. Oh, gets it to inbounds. A great job by Lauren Strong.
Gets a nice little volleyball spike there.
And you say the lower, I mean, he's at a .5. Just to see his effort and everything. Like, again, and I said to you the other day, and it wasn't just like tongue-in-cheek. I mean, nobody here, and, you know, I talked about it with you. I talked about it with Sean. I mean, adjusting. It's like some days you just wake up and you're like, man, this sucks, but it's never the poor me attitude. My grandpa used to say, too, no matter what happens, so you can choose to, you know, basically lay down in bed and just, you know, go into a corner and cry about it, or just go out and do what you're going to do. And
you choose to be happy or
exactly.
angry. You know what I mean? Or sad. You know, it's a choice.
Yeah, your days are going to suck. Yeah. But, man, just to see, and again, going to bed after quad rugby, I mean, playing back-to-back basketball games is one thing, but now I know why they don't schedule back-to-back quad rugby games, because the second game would be very interesting. I'm sure
tell you what,
you've done it before, right?
Done it plenty of times. Yeah. It could either be really bad or okay. It's never good.
Yeah, good is out of the equation. Yeah. It's going to go from basically average to okay.
It's going to either this is really going to hurt or this is okay. I can handle this.
Instead of getting ice from the hallway, call down to the hotel lobby. You're like, can you just come fill my bathtub with ice so I can sit?
It always makes me think of that Sergeant Bilko movie. Is make the bad man stop. I'm paralyzed from the hair down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I haven't seen that in years. Well, 28-21 the score. Red is kind of hanging around. Oh, and we do have a substitution on the court for Gray. That is number 3. Emmett Pryor came in. Davis Celestine back in. Mason Simons and Jesse Graham for the Gray. And then for the Red, we have Chris Hall, Jerry Baylor, Chet Miller, and Robert Facto. Again, you watch the picks, and there goes Hall breaking away. Oh,
there we go. Nice pass.
Yeah, Miller actually got kind of help because Simons crashed into him. Leaned his chair forward for him.
Off the ground a little bit, yep.
Beautiful pass. Yeah, not that you want to have that feeling of, oh.
Well, sometimes you use that. I've done it to where I'll take the hit and let my back end come up off the ground so I can get my hands up higher in the air for a block pass.
Oh, 29-22 the score. The pass coming to Simons. He looks over, and as it goes out of bounds, it's a turnover. And
looking at me in a little bit of disgust with himself there, wanting that ball.
So now we have a substitution coming in, and we're going to check out. We'll see the big hit right here.
There you go.
And Hall knows what to do with that. Looks back and says, "Okay, I'll coast." But again, being down by 7, I'd probably be scooching faster. It's Joel Rodriguez into the game. Oh, trying to get through, but Celestine cuts him off. Oh, look at Rodriguez, just enough.
Right there.
Ooh, Joel Rodriguez doing it. So now that makes it 29-23. Red making, well, a little bit of a run.
David Celestine, pulls his own weight right there with the hits there. He's a pretty big boy. Yeah.
Well, again, I mentioned the weightlifting, and I saw it wasn't a small amount. Ooh, is Graham?
I think he put up 210 pounds last night. Yeah.
Well, Andre the Giant put up over 300 pounds. I saw 2 gentlemen right in front of me at bench 1, and unfortunately, I was going to go look at results before basketball, but yeah, there's like 4 or 5 guys that put up over 300 pounds.
Yes. Yeah, there's some guys that are putting up. What really gets me is the guys that are 150 pounds putting up almost 300 pounds. Yeah. It's, that's unreal. Yeah.
Got a little equipment repair over there for Emmett Pryor. Well, they got it going. Now, with how the wheels are locked in, that's something I should ask you the other day. So, I mean, what makes them, how is it that they, I mean, pop,
Okay, so if you look in the center of the wheel there, you'll see what looks like a button on that axle. Yeah. When you push that button in, there's 2 ball bearings on the inside of the axle sleeve. Those ball bearings sink into the axle, so it'll pop right out of that axle sleeve. That way, and then when you release the button, when it's in, those ball bearings pop out and hold that axle inside.
So when somebody hits, they just hit it in the right spot, and that's what causes it to
and sometimes just from the contact back and forth, little burrs come up in there, and you got to sand them out and keep them from messing up and popping in and out. And yeah.
Well, 30-24 was the score until Graham went across the line. Now it's 31-24 in favor of the Gray as it gets knocked away from Hall by Simons, but it goes out. It'll be red ball. I do think that the red should, hey, if you go the wrong way, I mean, with the tough rules you guys have anyway, that should have been a point for red.
Well, it's a turnover, though. So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean.
So they don't get the goal, but Gray doesn't get to keep the ball. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
which is a big deal because the first goal and the last goal are extremely important in rugby. Oh, and the lean.
Mason Simons just asked him to stop. And he just
Joel gave him the hit into Chet, and there it went.
So weird Joel did that.
Joel's no light load either.
No.
He's a little guy, but he sits low, and he's got a little bit to pull on there.
So Mason now pops up and making sure he's in. We're going to get to check out probably a few of the hits you've been a part of, too. Oh. Yeah, Joel took him into Chet. Wait, so if Joel took him into Chet, they're calling a penalty on if Joel took
penalty on
Mason?
Mason, absolutely, because Mason leaned on the other. If you get hit by a player and you fall onto them, you fouled them. Yeah. Say I hit you and you fall onto my lap.
Right.
You just fouled me.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
I guess that's kind of a strategy you could try to use, but man, that's tough.
So right now, Chet owes Mason the $20 for the lap dance.
Oh, it is the end of the week at the Wheelchair Games. He is here. He's been here all week. Ryan Lindstrom. That's hilarious. And one of the numbers came off, and it was stuck to Emmett Pryor's chair as Pryor. Again. It's inbounded now, and again, the red team does have the 4-on-3, so Graham just kind of hanging out. Gray team just kind of hanging out. Well, taking most of the, well, they could take the 40-second clock as Hall just cruises, but he says, you know what, let's get the point, 31-25. Let's not mess with the, just another shot clock violation.
They're down right now. They really need to get these goals quick so they can start coming back. They got more opportunities on defense so that they can get turnovers.
Well, only down by 6, 31-25 is red, but again, back to full strength now. Mason comes out. He'll inbound.
10 seconds.
Oh.
Yep.
And Mason might want
Larry
to call
Porter
a timeout.
wanting to keep that ball.
Yeah. Porter's like, I'll take it. Mason might need to call a timeout because it seemed like those plays they were running in the first half and out of the inbounds and stuff like that, timeouts were working, but now the red team has adjusted quite well.
Yep, absolutely. Mason there should have been keeping that count in his head.
And look at Chris.
But every once in a while, the speed of the game, you're trying to get it fast, and you think you can get that pass out there, and yeah.
Chris Hall makes it 31-26 now. 3:10 left to go here in the third quarter. Gray trying to stay undefeated. Oh, and Davis Celestine couldn't get there. Look at the Tasmanian Devil. And I'm still teasing it. We are going to wait till the fourth quarter to know why he is called Chris Cupcake Hall as he gets the goal right there to make it 31-27, and now we get a timeout.
Now, did you find out why it's called the Queen City?
I know, and I was saving it for basketball. Yes, it is. I closed it out. I was kind of reading last night because I had this issue. I was so excited for the championship games that
well, if you're saving for basketball,
no,
save it for basketball. But you got to tell me in between third and fourth quarter.
I was going to show you. Yeah. No, I was going to show you. I don't know why I closed it out, but yeah, I didn't mean to close it out, but yeah, no, I'm saving it for the very end because people that are history buffs, as we see the timeout here, 31-27, Gray leading over Red. So 7-point lead now, down to a 4-point lead.
And if they can get a view of all the people here, this is definitely the biggest, most watched sport in the games. There are some big crowds coming in here.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, we saw it the other day. And
bleachers full on each end.
I said to you, yeah, because I said, man, for basketball, it got pretty crowded, but quad rugby, everybody's standing around, and it's kind of hard not to. You're walking through the convention center, and you hear the thud. It's like, where's that coming from? What's going on? Everybody's cheering, and I always think it's hilarious. Everybody's always cheering for you guys to crash into each other hard. Oh, they went down. They're like, yeah.
It's great.
So 31-27 out of the timeout. Yes, I did get the information back up. But yes, for the last championship, we're streaming basketball 3 o'clock after this. Oh, nice job there.
Wow, what a great pick there by Joel, stopping him from getting to that ball. Wow.
Here comes Chris Hall making a move. Oh, and make it 31-28.
3-point game here.
So we have Chris Hall, Joel Rodriguez, Chet Miller, and Robert Fecto. Or no, I'm sorry, it's number 00. It's Larry Porter on the court for Red. And then we have number 12, Tim Allen for the Gray, along with Gabriel Diaz de Leon, Mason Simons, and number 4 is Henry Sawyer. But yeah, saving it for basketball. But yeah, it's a pretty cool, interesting story as to why it is the Queen City.
Oh, getting close to 12 seconds here. Oh, there's the timeout right there, yep.
And then the 12 seconds restarts after the timeout.
That's a big turn, big stop right there, getting the timeout. And a veteran call by Gabriel for sure.
So we get a little bit of a breather. And I thought, you know what I find interesting, because when they were in the penalty box in a timeout, they can't even go across to talk, so everybody has to come over with the penalty box.
Absolutely.
But Red choosing to just kind of stay on the court.
Stay on the court. It's kind of like that being a boxer and going to your corner and not sitting down on the stool and only taking a sip of water there and not making them think you're not tired kind of thing, you know. We're not coming to the sideline to get water.
Nope. So 31. 31-28. It's the score. As So 31-28 is the score. Sorry about that. A few little difficulties here at the table. Probably my fault because I'm just throwing stuff around, but that's normal for a broadcast. He is Ryan Lindstrom on Michael Caratanudo. 31:28 left to go. And, hey, what games is this for you, by the way?
My 14th games.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been injured since 2002.
14.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And I've only missed 2, and actually I missed those for USA Rugby camps. Yep.
I was going to say, Mr. Gabriel Diaz de Leon missed it for Olympics, and you missed it for USA Rugby. So you can definitely check Ryan out there.
Oh, boy.
Oh, 31-29. It's now getting really, really chippy out there.
There we go, right? Yep. Is that called on Chet or, yep, Larry Porter. There we go.
And what did he do? Was it reaching?
Yep, there's an illegal use of hands there, it looks like. Oh, and Jesse. That's great.
I hear him say he didn't touch him.
Jesse had the ball supposedly there, and boy, that's funny.
So 31-29. Again, shot clock winding down, the 4-on-3. So they're just taking their time. 8 seconds left on the shot clock, but Chet Miller goes across the line. And look at this now, a 1-point game, which was once an 8-point lead. Ryan, is now a 1-point game. 31-30, Gray leading.
Red figured out their subs here, and they're making it work, that's for sure. Ooh. Oh, boy, there it is right there.
Wow. And the crowd loves it. Oh, look at it. And it's a tie game now. 45 seconds left to go in the third. Oh,
that is huge.
Ooh, and another
big turnover here.
Sawyer inbounded as Henry Sawyer inbounded. Mason Simons trying to get Chet Miller, goes across. And look at this, Chris Hall.
Gray might want to call a bench timeout here and figure this out. They need to get this last goal.
Well, no shot clock as we're under 40 seconds as Mason Simons backing up. Can't get there, and
There's
turnover.
A big time. That's where going backwards right there. You know, it looks fun and all, but
well, it looked like he was in good position to grab it. No, I get what you're saying. It looked like he was in good position, but the ball just skipped a little bit to his left.
See, if he'd have turned around to begin with, though, he'd have been pushing forward. He'd have had that goal, no problem. Yep. Always forward, always in more control and faster going forward. Yep.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So Chris Hall again trying to make his way around. Diaz de Leon and Simons, they cut him off. Oh, and a nice knock away by Graham.
And the foul call on Mason there, yep.
For, what did he do there?
When Chris came up with the ball with his right hand, Mason's arm was all over him. They show that replay, you'll see it. Yeah, he was grabbing his arm right there. It was pretty funny. And then it was, I wasn't touching him. Now, if she called it, Mason should be in the box here, but they're going to give him the goal. So, really, no harm, no foul if he's not in the box. Yeah.
So now that makes it 33-31 in favor of Red. I think that's the first, when they went up by 1, it was the last time they led since it was 1-0 because they scored first.
Yep, absolutely. That's the first time they've led since, what, the first 4 seconds of the game?
Pretty much, yeah. So Simons inbounds to Diaz de Leon, a little bit of a traffic jam. Graham too far down court. Look at that, just bounced it over to Diaz de Leon.
Just running that clock out, yep.
Oh, I was going to say, it might be a 12-second violation, but, well, you can hear the crowd there as you see the beautiful shot. They are all stoked. The quad rugby gold medal game, end of 3. We'll step aside. Fans, do not go too far here on wheelchairgames.org. We'll be right back with more action from the Duke Energy Convention Center in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio, the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, brought to you in part by the Paralyzed Veterans of America and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. We are starting the fourth quarter of the quad rugby gold medal game between Team Gray, who came into this undefeated, against Team Red, who suffered their only loss. Team Gray 33-31 is the score, Red leading. And Red, well, about to be up 34-31. Nice catch there by Robert Fecto, who gets the goal. So it's Fecto, Chet Miller, Chris Hall, and number 5, Jerry Baylor for Team Red. For Team Gray, have Jesse Graham, Mason Simons, Emmett Pryor, number 3, and number 13, Gabriel Diaz de Leon. As Graham with the ball now, his team down well by 3.
Chet
but
still coming up here screaming. Boy, I tell you what, that was close.
Very close. Nice move by. That's one of the few times he's been contested, because usually he's flying away from everybody, is Mr. Jesse Graham. But that makes it 34-32 again. And like you said, you got to check subs. I mean, I know Emmett.
And believe it or not, Jesse is actually playing with a torn pec. So he's playing injured right now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That vibration's got to feel good every time as he gets it over to Mason. Again, Mason dribbling the ball up top. Here comes Robert Fecto, and Mason kindly spins.
Oh, wow. Chris Kep gave in the key for 10 seconds there once the ball was turned over.
Wow.
That's a big, big play right there.
Could have been a one-point game.
Yep.
If they're able to score. And we found out between the quarters that Gray has no more timeouts. Red has 3 left. So Red really, unless they get in a trap or want to take a breather, they really don't have to do Gray any favors.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so he has the ball. Chris Hall, Cupcake Hall. He's got a tattoo of a cupcake. Now, he said he's on a cruise as he's going to go, well, now we'll go across the, well, no, not yet. Still wasting time.
Got to take as many times off, ticks off the clock as he can right now with his subs in.
Oh, that's a. And so they score, making it 35-32. But said he was on a cruise with boys and stuff, military guys, and all of a sudden said, this fine young lady walked up and said, "Is that a cupcake?" And nobody responded, and he just said, "No, but you can call me Cupcake." Well, then he said his teammates, as we see Graham score there to make it 35-33, some teammates picked it up and started saying it around his wonderful 4-year-old niece, because who's a better antagonist than a little child? And she kept calling him Cupcake. So it's very cute when she does it, but he went with it, and that is why, not that you needed any other reason to stick around for a gold medal match, but that is why he is called Cupcake. And I go, well, you know what? It probably got her attention. She was probably all flustered and shocked that You can call her you can call me Cupcake. So, and you
Absolutely.
said his niece, if you see the tattoo, he's got the purple frosting. His niece picked the purple frosting, and that's why he went with that. But
That's great.
yeah, she always was going to call him Cupcake, so that's how it stuck.
Yeah, we between Tampa and Jacksonville, our two teams at the end of each season, or at the beginning of each season, we try to all go on a cruise, a bunch of us, and just have a big GIMP cruise, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a good time.
You and Sean Castle, GIMP cruise, yelling at each other. He's saying, he's saying on the air, yelling at his teammates, "Come on, get your quad butt up. You can get up."
Exactly.
Again, but like you said, I mean, you want to laugh, you got to have a sense of humor. But
if you can't laugh at it, you can't have fun, right?
Oh, if I couldn't laugh at myself, as you've seen the guys I've worked with, again, they are the smart ones. I'm not saying to pick on them. I mean, the job they do, as you see, setting everything up and just making sure everything's running smooth. And the shots, I mean, you saw the phenomenal shots. I mean, drone or not, you still have to have a great grasp. I mean, the awesome crew that we've worked with. But, yeah, I mean, they love to pick on me. This is the only time I can really get revenge because they can't defend themselves. So. But, yeah.
So Mason fouls again here. Nope, not his fault.
Yep. 36-34 the
Chet's
score.
sitting there calling for the technical.
Chet, well, half the crowd's going to love the call. And Myers
there it is.
Mason
She's trying to get him to come to the box here.
And the red team calling for a delay again. Oh, and their crowd too. Man, it is tough. Mason again not happy with the call. Like you said, you're not going to agree with him. Some might be more ticky-tack than others. As Red actually takes a timeout.
Oh, looks like they got to get Lauren some more time here. Lauren's been an up-and-comer. He's doing better and better every year he comes out. It's funny. Some of these low pointers, when they first come out, they try it for the first time. They've never played before, and every once in a while you get one that you got to push onto the court and push off the court, and they're learning the game. They move around, but they don't realize how much work it really is.
Yeah.
And but then the next year they come back and they're just that much stronger. They've gone and found a team back home. You know,
Absolutely.
They start training, they start playing, and they're working hard at it. And it's great to see the improvement each year from each player. Yep.
Yeah. So. Jesse Graham, Tim Kelly, and Lauren Strong on the court for the great team, the 4-on-3. And then we have Chet Miller and Scrappy Smith back on the court with Chris Hall and Joel Rodriguez. This ball gets inbounded to Chris Hall.
And Lauren gets over there and actually gets that stop on the sideline, which is big there.
Yeah, and look at Jesse Graham trying to get in front of Chet Hall. Oh, Chet Miller, sorry. Chris Hall, Chet Miller. Somebody's scoring in a little bump right there.
Little love tap there.
So out of the box is Mason Simons as he gets the ball. His team now down by 3, 37-34. Can he beat Joel Rodriguez? Oh, and he just gets there and emphatically places the ball down and trying to fire his team up.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. He's wanting to get moving. He is not happy about being down by 2.
Hall gets
nice pass by Hall, sidearm there.
Up to Miller. He'll just let everybody catch up. Oh, no, Scrappy.
Don't turn back, Chet. Do not turn back. There you go. If he turns back there, see, if you see Mason there, he's stuck on Scrappy there. If he turns back, he can call equipment, which stops the play, and they have to inbound, and defense gets to catch up.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to go straight ahead, get the goal, and then let them call equipment.
Right.
Yep.
Gotcha. So 38-35 the score, Red leading over Gray. Man, well, hey, sometimes the simplest description, Ryan said this is a great game, and it is, as we see
Absolutely.
now. Jesse Graham getting in a race with Cupcake Tasmanian Devil. I'm going to call him that. Oh, and he
what a
cuts
cutoff
him
there.
off.
He catches him. Yep.
Now we get, the traffic jam coming out. Now is, like you said, you're going to slow it down. This is where the pickers and them knowing what to do comes in handy.
There. Yep.
Graham goes across, making it 38-36.
There you go. See, now Mason had Joel caught down in the key here. So Joel had to call for inbound, or else he'd have been 10 seconds, because that 10 seconds starts on this whistle.
Right.
Yep. But Joel's a solid inbounder, so he'll be fine. Or should be anyways. We'll see. I don't know, jinx him.
Yeah, there's no broadcast. Everybody says that. Somebody's talking about, a no-hitter or something in baseball, or a guy hasn't missed any free throws in basketball. There's no broadcast or jinx. They just missed it.
Well, I tell you what,
you're gonna contradict my story. I know it.
There he goes. Nice. Way to stay with it. I tell you what, sitting on the sideline, whether it's there or not, I don't want to be the reason. To throw it.
Yeah, exactly. You like to throw it out there, but you don't want to be the reason as to why it happened.
Exactly. Jesse here getting a nice little smooth push here. Chris Hall calling for the inbound here, locked up by the 2 low pointers.
So when you call for it's not a timeout. Oh, so if he wants to be the one to inbound, he can just call saying, I'm inbounding, and they have to let him go.
They have to let him get to the inbound.
Strategy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yep.
you
Once
use
you're
that
locked
a few
up,
times.
Absolutely. Because it's a mismatch. They've got their 2 low pointers on him, so now the pointage is off, right?
Right.
You don't ever want that. Yeah, 2 low pointers can lock up 1 high pointer, or one low pointer gets a high pointer in a corner. There, what a great pass by Scrappy to Joel.
Smith was kind of rotating around, gets hit, but is able to get the pass to Joel Rodriguez, who says hello to Lauren Strong. But, man, Lauren Strong has 11th games. Again, just 40-37, Red
there
with
it
the
is
lead.
Right there. Chris got off of the low pointer there. Oh, there
Jesse
he is.
Graham
He's
gets
got
it to Mason. Look at that, right before it crosses the goal line. He wraps it up. And that's the thing, after you score, just try and keep moving so you don't get locked up, right?
Absolutely.
I'm finally picking it up.
You want to be moving the whole time. You do not want to stop in this sport. There we go, nice 4-on-1.
We got Cupcake and Scrappy on the court for the red team. But now everybody knows why. There's Graham again right
Absolutely.
there. Too far away. Wasn't going to push him outside the cone, so that makes it 41-38. And this will make it 41-39. But Graces now, like you talked about earlier, Ryan is looking for turnovers.
Yep, absolutely.
No
and
penalties.
Now Red's the one that wants to take the ticks. They want to take as many ticks as they can. Up by 2 here.
Oh, the ball gets knocked away, and Cupcake wisely lets it just go out of bounds. They keep possession. Waste a few more seconds. Look at that, 3:33 left to go with 33 seconds left on the shot clock. If I was in Vegas right now,
boy, I'd be betting.
Heavy on threes right there. That's inbounded to Chris Hall. Trying to get it to Scrappy. Ooh, a turnover.
There. He's got 3 of them.
Jesse Graham gets it to Simons. Look at that stretch right there. Those long arms. I mean, we've said it so much, but overstating out is such an advantage.
Yes, absolutely.
So Hall will inbound for the red team. To Chet Miller. I know Chet's at 1.5 in the rankings. I'm not trying to graduate anybody up, but he seems he's got a little bit more. Look at that.
He's actually a deuce, but because he's over 45, you drop half a point.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So he plays as a 1.5.
Over 40. Wow.
Yeah.
I would not have gotten. Wow.
Yep. Same thing with Gabe. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and Scrappy Smith with the penalty, not happy about it as he comes into the penalty box. So he'll be in here till the 2:14 mark. I don't know, but if you're great, don't you just want to score right away?
Yes, you want to score right away because you don't have time to sit back and just watch.
Diaz De Leon leaning back. Joel Rodriguez, look at the vet right there.
Working on that. There it is. There it is.
Up. There's Mason with him. Now over to Graham, and there it is. Makes it 42-41. And now Scrappy Smith comes back in the game.
Tell you what, being an announcer sitting over here, I want to yell so much. Don't do this, do this, don't do this.
What a great job.
That's a great way to work. Stay with it and get it and pick it up. And then have the wherewithal not to go crazy once he got it.
Oh,
yeah.
Little collision there. Oh, and Scrappy has it sort of knocked away, but look at that. Better to be lucky than good.
Goes to Joel.
That goes to Joel Rodriguez, who gets it right back to Scrappy Smith.
Sometimes the ball just bounces your way, and you can get it back and keep moving. That was huge right there.
Now they're up by 1, 2.5 left to go, but 15 seconds left on the shot clock. As you hear the Let's Go Red from the crowd. Oh, over to Scrappy Smith. Diaz De Leon there, but Scrappy Smith gets across the line. And it's a 2-point lead with 2:22 left to go.
And you can't see it, but the transition Chris just made up here to half court to get on Jesse, so he couldn't get that deep pass. That way, even if they score, they still got to work more time off the clock.
Yep, and Diaz De Leon locks Chris up for a second, gets Jesse Graham in. But again, 14 seconds off the clock right there.
Yep.
Mason Simons and Joel Rodriguez. They're not going to have dinner after this, are they?
Yeah. You know what's funny? They probably will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, if it goes to overtime, how does overtime work?
Overtime works. It's a 3-minute overtime. Each team gets an extra timeout. And they do a jump ball at the beginning of each overtime.
Okay.
And
is it still 5-minute?
No, it's a 3-minute.
3-minute overtime.
Yep,
okay.
Absolutely. And at the end of the overtime, whoever's winning wins.
But if it keeps being tied, they just keep getting 3 minutes.
Keeps on going, keeps on going, keeps on going.
I know Dave Heil, our producer, would love to see He loves overtime.
I tell you what, me and Chris down in Tampa 2 years ago, Tampa and Jacksonville, we went into, I think it was 4 overtime game, and finally won it in overtime by 1 point.
Wow.
On the 4th overtime.
4th overtime. Wow.
And without a sub. Yeah.
Quadruple overtime, no subs. That is unbelievable.
It was definitely, we finished that game, and it was like, all right, we're done for the day. Because that's like playing almost a whole nother game added on.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. 12 extra minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
So they come back on the court, 2:08 left to go, 43-42 as you see Red leading. He's Ryan Lindstrom. I'm Michael Carrottenuto, the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games. And Quad Rugby.
Oh boy, that's a big turnover right there.
Quad Rugby brought to us by GE and P&G, sponsoring the Quad Rugby in this gold medal game. Huge turnover there. Yep. And Diaz De Leon goes across. We're tied up at 43 with 2:01 left to go.
Scrappy smartly turns back, following his pickers up the court here. There you go, Chris, taking the goal when he can get it here, not wasting too much time. There we go, they get the stop. He's looking for the deep pass.
Trying to tie it up.
Oh, boy. Oh, and it bounces their way.
Look at Diaz De Leon. Nice reach there. Well, reversing, going to the other side of the court. And he still holds on to it. Gets it back to Graham. Diaz De Leon gets it over to Simons, who's going to back in.
Good pass by Jesse up there.
Yes, it's got to go high.
Yep.
All tied up at 44 with 1:13 left to go.
Scrappy here with the little equipment here, getting the strap back on his leg there.
All set to go, and now.
Tell you what, the low pointers on Gray here, Sawyer and Gabe, they are just nasty. Yeah, once they get you hooked, you are not getting out of there.
And now Chet Miller with the ball going forward.
Little veteran move there by Chet, making it look like he's about to pass, getting his dribble, and then just pushing in.
Well, they're up 45-44, 53 seconds left to go. Red's up 45-44.
And that's big right there because you want to score right there so that Gray has to score under 40 seconds left on the clock so you can get that last goal.
Yep.
What you'll probably see here is when Red gets the ball, you'll hear him screaming, last goal, last goal, last goal.
Yep, it's under 40 now, so no shot clock. Ooh, Mason gets bumped, and he gets the goal, though, goes through. So 36.4, we're all tied up at 45, but the Red team, again, in control. Has the clock, they're trying to push Chris Hull out, gets it up to Chet Miller with 25 seconds left to go. Chet Miller again gets down there, gets it back to Chris Hull.
There it is right there, 20 seconds left here.
As Hull has it up top, now 13. Got to get going, here comes Joel Rodriguez. Fakes the pass, Chris Hull.
Oh, wow.
And it's red ball.
Red ball with 6 seconds.
Wow. Looks like you may have had Chet Miller on the outside.
They really need to get somebody in that key posting up right now. 6 seconds is not a lot of time here.
Oh, and the ball gets knocked out.
Wow.
With 3 seconds left, and it'll still be red ball. Well, now he's got to get somebody down on the line. Like you said, post up. And
it's looking like overtime. Yep.
Oh, and Simons cuts it off. And we go to overtime. Wow. We'll take a quick break here. And when we get back, we will have overtime in this gold medal rugby game here in the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games.
Break this chair, then buy me a new one.
Back here at the Duke Energy Convention Center in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio, the 37th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, brought to you in part by the Paralyzed Veterans of America and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Thank you to P&G and GE for sponsoring Quad Rugby, the gold medal game. So overtime, 3 minutes, each team gets one timeout. Yeah, each team has one timeout. We're tied at 45. And we'll see who gets the gold medal after this.
The red team has however many timeouts they had +1.
Oh, +1. Okay.
So now the gray team had 0. Now they have 1. Yep.
That's why Mr. Ryan Lindstrom is here, to make sure I know what I'm talking about. And he gives you, obviously, the great insight that I definitely
Well, that was my fault a little bit. I should have said they get an extra timeout added. Yes. Yeah.
And the first goal there by, well, no surprise, Jesse Graham. Makes it 40.
And that's huge. Yeah, with 3 minutes, that's big. Yeah. Now Red really has to fight to get a turnover and another turnover.
See Graham and Chet Miller. So, Graham able to get there, and Mason Simons comes, and Miller loses the ball.
Man, right off the wheel there.
So we have Scrappy Smith, Chet Miller, Joel Rodriguez, and Chris Hall for Red. For Gray, we have Gabriel Diaz de Leon, Jesse Graham, Mason Simons, and there he is, number 4.
There's a turnover right back to Red. Yep. That's great.
Red gets
Chet wanted that back. He sure did.
Chet, he feels like he made up for a 46 all. Oh, 46 all, 2:21 left to go in overtime. As Graham gets a nice, like you said, setting up Henry Sawyer, guiding him down court as Diaz de Leon does a great job there. As Graham gets cut off up high to Simons, and he'll go across. And now it is 47-47. We're all tied up.
47-46. Yep.
Gray's up.
Gray
Yeah,
scores,
I'm sorry. Yeah, Gray's up 47-46.
What a great call by Joel right there. Taking the timeout, not making a bad play. Just very smart right there. Yeah. Come back, regroup. Absolutely.
So 47-40. Yeah, got to regroup and see what you can do. But getting that first goal again, almost a big turnover. Red gets it back. Chet Miller scores that goal. Man. At this point, I guess it comes down to
who makes
Grit.
the mistake, really. Yeah.
Grit who makes him in first.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Yeah, who can play well under that kind of pressure and just keep it moving, you know? Because right now they've got their best lineups on the court for sure, and we're going to see what happens.
All right, so getting set to inbound. Rodriguez gets it to Scrappy Smith, although Jesse Graham guiding him towards out of bounds. Now Smith cuts back inside. Tries to get Joel Rodriguez. Simons picks it up. Sends Graham ahead. Now here comes Diaz de Leon.
Great play there by Chet guarding him. Man, I tell you what, that's some great chair skills right there.
Now across to Graham. Wow. Scrappy Smith not in bad position there, but Graham was just wide enough to where he couldn't have knocked that ball down.
Couldn't quite get there.
So 48-46 is the score.
And Joel comes in with a great pick for Chet. There we go.
And Scrappy is going to go across the end line, get the red team back to within one. 1:22 left to go.
Red really needs a turnover here. Here's where endurance and training really comes into play. What a great stop there. What a great stop. Boy, and he gets over there just in time to get that ball.
As he backs up, making it 49-47, 56.3 seconds left. 2-point lead for Gray. Red needs to score. You're talking about endurance and training. Yeah, that's one of those things that, again, you're 4 quarters, you know, whether you're playing the whole game, but once you start going extras.
Right there. That's where Scrappy's getting a little tired maybe and just wanted to get that ball out to Chet instead of pushing it up the court. Boy, that's a little bit of a letdown right there.
Diaz de Leon and Henry Sawyer have Chris Hall locked up. As well, there's about 8-second difference between shot clock and game clock, but now it makes it 50-47. What a game we've had. So now Hall's going to inbound. Gets it over to Chet Miller, right back to Hall. Graham with a bump, but Miller going up court.
Got to get this deep pass here.
Joel Rodriguez.
Oh, so close.
Had it.
So close.
And now, well, Gray can just sit on the ball.
Yep, 14. They got to get it over half court, and that's it.
Right.
Yep.
Well,
even if they don't. It doesn't really matter. Yep. Man. What a great championship game. This is probably one of the best championship games I've seen in a very long time.
Both teams with leads as Mason Simons with the ball. And again, I saw a little breath there by Scrappy. East Tires.
And he
Mason
goes in
Simons
for that last goal.
Goes across. Clock goes off. Oh, they didn't count it. 50-47 is the final. The Gray team wins it, stays undefeated in overtime.
That was incredible.
Solistrom, thank you, sir. Thanks for jumping on. This guy's awesome. I'll talk to him after the show.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I thank PG and G&E for sponsoring Quad Rugby. We got to get out of here quick because we are headed over to championship basketball. So from Ryan Lindstrom, our entire crew, I'm Michael Carrottenuto. The Gray team wins the gold medal, stays undefeated, 50-47 over the Red. We'll see you here from the Convention Center coming up for basketball.